Adjusting to conditions. How long do I use a certain bait before I stop and give up on it? You know, when a cold front comes through, how long do I stay with that pattern before I bail on it? Warming trends, you know, they're the ones we like the most, right? They're the ones that we all live for in that spring moment when we get that first 70 or 80 degree day and we see fish crawling up on the banks. That's the one we like because that's probably the easiest condition to adjust to, especially if you're a shallow water angler. And the rest. So it's going to be I think to me, it's probably one of the most valuable things I can teach to my on-water training students, which I have a lot of. I do about 100 trips of those a year. And the biggest thing, the two biggest things that I teach are seasonal patterns and adjusting to conditions. Yeah, I want you all to be good. 8 that I like to use in cold front situations. There's this set of baits down here at the bottom are what I call triggering baits. They're able to trigger strikes when fish become inactive, and that's key. Some of the baits are more feeding oriented baits, like this is a shaky head and this is a finesse jig, and those are baits that, you know, the fish is going to have to come over and actively feed on the bait, strike it that way. These baits, this is a chatterbait, shadow wrap, and a lipless bait. You can actually rip that past the fish's head and he has no interest in feeding, but he will have that response, that reaction, and he will bite it anyway. And that's one of the first things we want to look for in a cold front situation. I learned a long time ago that this little bait right here, when the cold front comes through in those early spring deals, that is going to win your tournament a lot of times, okay? So you want to think about switching over baits. If you're catching them on a warming trend, hey, warming is fun. We talked about it in the spring. Man, everything in that tackle box is working. Stuff with pink and purple polka dots on it are even working in the warming trends in the spring, right? You know, crankbaits, chatterbaits, topwater, everything can be effective. But when a cold front comes through, you're going to notice that those baits are going to go whoop. Man, they're not hitting it today, right? So that's what we want. That's what I want to go to first. Is the water temperatures go from 70 up to 80. I'll get 90-degree temperatures at my house. I'm sure you get that out here too. Well, what are they going to do when a water temperature gets that hot? They're going to do and I'm going to talk about this all afternoon. My afternoon seminar is about how to trigger strikes in those hot summertime situations. But one of the most common ones, and we saw it on the Elite out at the on the upper Chesapeake, where the creek patterns dominate, the feeder creeks. They're fed by springs. They're coming through wooded areas, so they're shaded. Oftentimes, feeder creeks are anywhere from 2 to 10 degrees cooler than the main body of water. So it's going to pull bait in, and it's going to concentrate bass in the summertime. Now, that's amazing. And so in the feeder creeks on the Chesapeake, everybody that was in a feeder creek had a top 10 finish, you know. And the other way they'll go in the summertime is where you're going to get cool water, you're going down, right? That's the classic place to look for them, is to go deep. And places like Douglas Lake, I'll catch them as deep as 50 feet. You know, certain lakes, the bait will go way down and the bass will go way down with them. On Lake George, up in New York State, I catch bass out of 100 feet of water. So the bass can really go deep, and they're going to go deep in the summertime. That hot weather is going to drive the bait down there, and it's going to drive them down there as well. The more I do it, the more I practice it every day, the better I get at it, and the more often I intersect those fish, and I run into those days where you catch 4 and 5 pounders all day.
I hope you enjoyed the preview clip. And for more like that and the entire collection, subscribe to the Bass University TV. And if you want the tackle that you see on there, I want you to go to the Bass University Tackle Shop, powered by Tackle Warehouse, and click right here, and it's all at your fingertips.
Welcome to Bass University TV, an online video training course where you'll learn champion bass fishing techniques from pro anglers Pete Gluszek, Mike Iaconelli, and their talented special guests. From on the water to in the classroom, you'll learn sound techniques and strong fundamental bass fishing skills. Watch hours of video content on multiple topics at your own pace for a low monthly fee. Cancel at any time. Information is power in the sport of fishing, so learn from the very best. Subscribe to Bass University TV today.